Marked by Murder. Written by S. Thomas Thompson. Narrated by Christian Neal. Chapter 1. "Another one of those days," Electra said, staring at the wall. Washington was going through somewhat of a famine as far as killings were concerned. She should be happy. People were able to sleep easily in their beds. Kids played out late at night without the fear that there was a killer on the loose. Vulnerable people could sleep without having to leave one eye open. The world was a better place. And Electra was grateful for that. But what she wasn't grateful for was the potential that the team was whittled down further. Over the past few years, as crime dropped, the team had gone from more than 10 to just a handful. Her, Augustine, Ash, and Alice. Gary was behind bars. Lou had stepped aside. She liked being part of something bigger. Reducing this team down to 1 or 2 wasn't what she was all about. If one more detective left, then she would consider going to another station, a bigger one, where there were more people. Electra didn't like being lonely. This played its way out in her love life. She bounced from one relationship to another, none of them really giving her the feeling that it was going anywhere fast, if anywhere at all. The latest was a guy who called himself Star, like it was something to be proud of. His real name was Stuart Arthur, so he mingled, or was that mangled, the first 2 letters of each name and came up with the moniker Star. He called himself it, introduced himself as it, and even looked into the possibility of changing his name by deed poll to it permanently. Electra liked spending time with him in the first few weeks, even months. But after that, he got on her nerves. Her tolerance levels for anything other than a competent man who didn't need picking up off the floor every 5 minutes was pretty much 0. Star shone brightly when he was in the company of others, but when he and Electra were on their own, he sank into a depression of no self-confidence. She wasn't willing to be the one who picked him up and dusted him off time after time. She had enough on her own plate. And so they were going through the final throes of a relationship. "And the other days won't be far behind," Augustine responded. He knew, and he knew she knew. It was just that we all need reminding of things every now and again. "I'm almost caught up with everything," Electra replied, and that was most unlike her. She had a reputation for not answering messages unless they were vitally important. It did mean that she didn't get nearly as many unimportant messages as the rest of them, but it also meant that she was out of the loop on many things to do with the team and the police force in general. The phone rang on her desk. She tried to remember the last time it had rang before picking it up. "Electra, murder team," she answered. Augustine sat forward. Yes, no, I haven't been involved in an accident. I don't think you should be calling this number with sales calls. Please take this number off your mailing list," she answered. Augustine sat back in his chair. The next half an hour was spent looking out of the window, answering the odd email and uttering sentences in very much the same vein as "another one of those days."